the phone up. I'm waiting for my daughter to come out of school. So let's talk a little bit about the fixed star Algol and how there is like a lot of misconceptions about it. Since it represents the Gorgon's head or the demon's head, and it actually represents two mythological creatures. First of all, Lilith, the first wife of Adam. Secondly is Medusa, which is the Gorgon. So let's talk about that energy to begin with. So remember, in the Bible, Lilith is described as being the first wife of Adam, and that she refused to comply with whatever her I guess her role was as his wife. And then she was, she left, right? And then all of a sudden, historians or whatever you want to call them, I would see theologians, believed her to be a demon after she left the garden, right, of Eden, that she started to have children with Satan or Lucifer or whatever, the fallen angel. And that's where we got all these demons, right, from. So she's the spawn, she's the mother of demons, right? So that's what the theologian base it off of. Then we look at Medusa being, and this is based on different accounts of mythology and Greek mythology. Initially, she was one of the priestesses of Athena, and that Poseidon pursued her and raped her in Athena's temple, because she was so gorgeous that he couldn't help himself, right? And so Athena blamed her for that rape, right? Blamed the victim of the rape, right? So she punished her and she turned her into a Gorgon, into this Medusa creature with snakes in her hair, right? Another legend states that she was already a part of a triple sisterhood, meaning that there's two other Gorgons that were siblings of hers. She being human and the other two being monsters already, right? So that tells me that because this is kind of like the equivalency of women standing up for themselves, of women breaking that mold that society has of them, or their role, their gender role, or whatever, is because they decide to do their own thing. They decide to take on any challenges. They decide to move away from their perceived destinies as a woman, right, as a housewife, as a mother, a bearer of children, as being complacent and listening to your partner, all these things. To me, that star Algol represents this, because guess what it is? It's a binary star system. It's two stars right there, okay? So when you look at astronomy and the explanations about Algol, Persei, Alpha and Beta, you see that they're both huge stars. They were both actually created around the same time. Persei Alpha is supposed to be the primary one, but then you got the secondary Beta as big as that star, meaning that they have exchanged mass throughout these centuries, throughout these thousands of years, and now they're kind of like equals. And what happens with that is that when there is like you can see it in the sky, that there's a twinkle all of a sudden, that the star twinkles, is because it's actually eclipsing each other, like the star is eclipsing the other star. And so that's like the first thing that's ever happened in astronomy. Like they say that this is something weird, like it's like a paradox in astronomy, like they don't understand how this happens, but it's happening. So it's a unique star system, okay? Not even astronomers know how the fuck this happened to that star. So that being said, in legends and mythology in the ancient times, we got to think about the people, how they thought back then. Well, they didn't know a lot about these stars, only like mathematically, like, oh, it's this distance from the earth or whatever. And then they perceive things based on their own life right? So what was happening at the time in the ancient world with the legends, the ones that came up for Medusa, the ones that came up for Lilith, you know, what was really happening back then? Well, men were trying to dominate, right? And they're trying to control women. They're trying to teach women their place. They're trying to tell them, hey, guess what? If you don't listen to your husband and you abandon your marriage, you're gonna get punished, you know, because back in the day it was okay, like a woman was a man's property. It was okay for a man to do whatever the fuck he wanted to that woman, right? And if the woman fought back or argued or wasn't complacent or wasn't groveling at the guy's feet, wasn't doing what the man wanted in a marriage, then he had to punish her, right? So when you think about these legends, you think about that mentality back then. It doesn't apply anymore. All right, let's be honest. This star does not bring bad luck. It only brings bad luck to men, okay? Like, that's what I'm like, I've been like meditating with the energy of the star, and I'm just like, it only brings bad luck to men, especially men that want to control women, right? That want to suppress the divine feminine, that want to label the divine feminine as crazy or out of control or you know, lacks, you know, whatever the fuck, you know, that the man wants in that relationship, right? So that's what I think the star represents, is the divine feminine in its true power, and it will protect itself from any man or from any woman if challenged, right? So that's what the energy is if you challenge me, if you talk badly about me, if you try to control me, you will rue the day, right? That's what the star represents, okay? And so that's how I see it in modern times, where the star is a divine feminine in her true power, in her true authority, but you cannot try to manipulate her. You cannot try to control her. You cannot test her in that manner, because you will feel her wrath. That's what she represents. That's what Algol represents. And it's conjunct the sun in Taurus, Taurus being the bull, but it's a feminine energy. It's the earth energy. It's I would say Gaia energy as well. Like, I feel Taurus energy is Gaia energy, the earth energy. So what happens in the earth? Like, what happens to Gaia when we test her? Right? What happens when we deceive her, when we manipulate her, when we abuse her? What happens with the earth, right? It fights back. And we don't like what happens, right? We don't like what happens. Destruction happens. Crazy shit in nature happens. You know, humans get taught a lesson, you know, to appreciate the earth mother, you know. And so that's the same thing with the divine feminine. You get taught a lesson, and you might not like it. It might be uncomfortable for you, but that's what this conjunction is going to be. Be careful who you F with, okay? What divine feminine you mess with, because they are not going to tolerate your shit anymore. That's what I feel this energy is, okay? Be mindful. So that's what my take is on this particular star, you guys. Because I connected to it. You can connect to the star in meditation. Well, it's a binary star system, so it's two energies. So I feel like that is what it represents. If you are doing shit wrong, you are messing with someone who is a divine feminine, and it doesn't have to necessarily be you know, a woman. It could also be a man who is more feminine. If you're messing with them, if you've abused them somehow, and they've you know, it's like it's over now. Like, it's over. It's like they've had enough, and you will find out. You know, you fucked around and you found out. That's the energy that I feel. That's what this star is gonna bring to your life. But anyway, what are your guys' thoughts about it? I just thought, you know, what is it about the whole bad luck? It's like, I don't feel like there's bad luck to the star. It's only bad luck to those who fuck with people, you know what I mean? Like who betray people, who hurt people on purpose. That's what the star is about, revenge in that manner, right? So I think that's what it is. It's like it'll seek revenge, the energy, if you are not acting right. Okay, so if you're good, if you live in integrity, if you're kind, then you'll be fine. All right, so that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.